Okay, so we are official. We're officially starting now that I told you all my hot mess express story. You guys can laugh at that, but are here live. I just constantly think I'm such a great example for my team that anyone can do this for real, right? Yes. Okay, so I felt on the cruise, I felt really inspired. Like I needed to throw together this Zoom meeting, and this is what it has become. So I go a lot by inspiration, and I keep getting these like messages like, this is what I need to share. This is what I need to share. So I am excited that you're here to hear it. And I am recording. So those of you that miss it, hopefully can catch the replay, but I hope that this is really helpful. So I want to start by asking how many of you have a sunny beach vacation booked for February with your favorite person in the world at this point? Nancy's like, halfway, I'm working on it, right? I want you to think about what that really means, okay? Like, that's something that is such a gift. And Plexus is offering it to us for free, right? Right in the middle of February. I think that's when I personally start to be like, I need sunshine. I'm just so over winter, right? And so what a blessing to be able to treat the person, I mean, any person you choose, but one of the people that we love the most, hopefully, is who we would invite to come with us on that trip. And just such a gift. Now, those of you, I know that many of you just attended the Leaders Retreat cruise to Labadee, and like nothing gets us more motivated to make sure that we don't miss the next trip than going on a trip, because when you're there and you're experiencing it, and it's something that you just can't really live through other people's photos and videos and posts, like that does help us kind of get a taste of imagining what it would be like for us. But like once you're there, you're like, I will do whatever it takes and I will not miss a trip ever again, right? So that's part of the reason that I think we left that boat just feeling so motivated and like, okay, it's like game on. It is crunch time. Like, let's make some strategy here, because some of us are super close, like this close to earning that trip. Megan's, I think, officially earned it at this point. We have a couple others that are right there, but some of us are still at like, 400 credits or so. And we're like, is this really possible? Is this really going to happen for me? So what I wanted to do was just kind of gather all of those who are like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and just be super blunt about this is the best way to do that. And this is what it would actually take. And let's not sugarcoat it. Okay. And even if like, that's not something that you're working towards, like maybe that's not a goal for you, and that's fine. But let's think about the alternatives. Like, if you're willing to put in the effort at whatever level that increases your business and blesses more people, what other options does that open up for you? Like how many of you would love to have an extra $1,000 or $2,000 for Christmas to spend on people that you love? I mean, does that speak to your heart at all? Like, honestly, if someone just handed you $2,000 right now and said, go spend this on gifts for Christmas, what would you buy and for who? Like, really seriously, we have that opportunity here to create income as we desire. Do you understand that? Like, that's really what we have here. And so often we just kind of treat it so casually, like a hobby, or, oh, I'm just so grateful for whatever comes in, that we don't take advantage of or harness that opportunity that we have to create income as we please, to create like trips, right? And so think about that. The first step in doing so, whether your goal is cash for Christmas or whether your goal is Punta Cana with your favorite person, whatever that goal is, you have to first believe that it's possible, because our minds are really, really advanced, and kind of they can work against us or they can work for us, right? And we have to, first of all, actually believe that it's possible, or else we're going to find our minds looking for evidence that no, it's actually not. No, you should just give up. No, go watch Netflix because you're not even, not happening, whatever. So whether you believe you can or whether you believe you can't, you're right. And that is so true. So it starts with envisioning you there in Punta Cana, like actually picture yourself there on the beach next to your loved one. And like, what excursions would you want to do? Maybe check out the resort, maybe like do some vision casting, put some pictures up around that will make that so like close and present on, in the forefront of your mind, that you're willing to do whatever it takes. Okay. So, and then no matter what the result, like I want to say that every single one of you can earn Punta Cana at this point, but let's be honest. For some of you, like, depends on where your credits are right now and what you're actually willing to do. And like, we only have so much control, but either way, if you do choose all in and you decide this makes sense to me, like I see here a system, a strategy, a map that no matter what the actual end result, whether it means Punta Cana or not, it does equal some extra cash for Christmas and that much closer to my rank goals, and being able to get that much closer to putting in my 2 weeks notice, or allowing my significant other to cut back their hours at work. No matter what the end result is, a huge win if you choose in, right? And so that's what I hope that you understand and seriously decide it's worth it. Okay. So I want to tell you, I do see some faces I don't know on here well. And so I want to tell you that, first of all, I don't even know if I shared my name. My name's Whitney Warr. I'm a Diamond Fast Start Gold ambassador, and I've been with Plexus for almost 9 years. And I've been through some really incredible stages of momentum, and I've been through some really devastating loss. So I want you to know that, so you understand that I do know what I'm talking about, you guys. Like I understand what works and I understand what doesn't. I can tell you the basics that create a growing business. Okay. And you insert your own personal strengths, your own personal niche, and those basics will work for anyone. They really will. But it is just a matter of, are you choosing in? Do you believe it's possible? Do you really believe it's possible? Are you really choosing in? Or are you just saying you choose in and kind of halfway pretending to go through the motions? You know what I mean? So that's what I want you to know about me, you guys. I have failed forward a lot. Anyone that's made it to the top rank with Plexus, and I love that Genevieve said this on the cruise. She said, you look at the jewels that are here, that just means they've failed a lot more than you have. They've heard no a lot more than you have. They've made mistakes, or not even made mistakes. Like, and I don't even like to call it failure, but like we've tried things that didn't work. And then we're like, okay, let's adjust and try something else. Let's shift. Let's try to say that a little differently. Let's, tweak this a little bit here and there or whatever. But really, it's just choosing all in no matter what. No matter what the result of this is, that we're all in. And everyone that's honestly doing the work, they end up at the same place. Like they end up at the top. It's just a matter of whether you choose to stay in and whether you choose. It actually takes effort to consistently improve skill set and mindset. Those are the two things, the two main things that you consistently have to choose to fail forward with is your mindset. And that's what trips the most people up. Consistently failing forward with your mindset and consistently failing forward with your skill set. But other than that, the basics are the same. They really are. Anyone can make it to the top if they continually pursue failing forward and improving mindset and skill set. Okay. We all pay $9.95. Some of us paid more than that. That's actually right now it's $9.95, but some of us paid $19.95 to start. Some of us paid $39.95 to start, but whatever it is, we all paid that enrollment fee and started at zero. Every single person you've met in Plexus, we all started at zero. Okay. And we utilized some basics, sharing Plexus, supporting people on their journey, encouraging others, right? And self-development I throw in there as well. But really, like those are, it's the same across the board. And then they insert their own special gifts to create a niche for themselves that can be so different from one person to another, but all end up at the top, if so, right? I really wanted to start with that because I need you to understand that really you are the key. You don't need anyone else to be successful, to reach your goals. And your goals can all be so different from another, but you are the only one that can get you there. And you are the main one that holds you back the most, right? Really and truly, in all honesty, that is it. So that's our biggest battle, is overcoming those limiting beliefs consistently. So when I say insert your own gifts and niches, I want you to understand that I personally know I have several jewel and diamond friends that have built their way to the jewel pool in such a variety of different ways. And so I think one of a setback can be is we look at how someone did it, and then we're like, okay, well, I'm just going to copy that because that's super effective. She or he is super successful, when really that's not honing in on your natural strengths and your niche. Okay. Just to give you an example, I want to tell you that my friend Lisa Shryock, she's a diamond. Okay. Do you know she built a jewel organization all from people she didn't know with Facebook yard sale groups? That I've never done one time, like utilized a Facebook yard sale group, but that's how she built her whole entire organization. Then another example is my friend Amanda that lives in Canada. She does online, what are they called? Online vendor events. That's what they are. Yes, right. That's right, Jen. Online vendor events. I've never done an online vendor event. That is not my niche, but that is what she decided to run with, that she felt excited about. Let me give you another example. Kyle Rainey, right? Kyle Rainey, he really uses ministry and life coaching skills and really honing in on helping people create, I don't like, who their ultimate being is. And another example is, gosh, I can give you Rebecca Folks or Emily, even Emily Roberts, right? Okay, so she uses Instagram. She has built a lot of followers. She didn't start that way, but she just makes like funny parenting reels, and she has a really funny sense of humor. So she's built a large following on Instagram to the point where now, like, she's consistently signing up a large amount of people every month. And she said like 95% of those people are people she does not know. So there's different ways to do this. And there's no one way that's right or wrong. And that's what I really want you to understand is the basics are the same. Like, we share about these products and this opportunity, and then we support people in being consistent, and we encourage them to share as well. And then we develop leadership skills as we go. The basics are going to be the same all across the board with that. But it can be done so many different ways. Oh, another example, Joanna Slavin. Okay. She recruits like a crazy amount of people every month herself. And she does so by offering these challenges. Like, she's mastered challenges, and she attracts a lot of different people through these challenges. And that is how she has not only built herself to diamond, but also her husband, I believe he's a diamond now, and her son Zach to sapphire. She's helped him, and they all run those groups to get those challenges together now. Kind of, they each play different parts. That's definitely, I don't even think I did a challenge until I was a diamond. So, but that's really like how they created their whole entire business. I built my whole business on Facebook. I don't even I dabble with Instagram lately, but before that, I didn't even use it whatsoever. There's so many different ways, but the basics are the same. And I'll tell you this, and I hope that this gives you confidence and makes you excited, is that you're the only one that really knows what the best way is for you. Like, what personal gifts and strengths you have that you could create a niche with that would create a lot of momentum and growth for you. You're the only one that really knows that. I can't tell you, maybe I can, if I get to know you well, I could say, I feel like you have a gift for seeing in people what they can't see in themselves and speaking life into them. Or I feel like you're just magnetic on social media, and you can attract strangers to what you have because the way you present it is so enticing and fun. Or whatever it is, like that, you are the one deep down, Diamond Heidi or Emerald Heidi, Diamond Janelle, Diamond Tanya. That inner voice is what you need to listen to the most, that says, this is what lights a fire in me and gets me excited, and this is where I feel confident and can build a niche for myself. So anyways, what are the basics? I guess I already mentioned a few times, but do you guys understand that? Do you really understand that the basics are actually really simple? We insert the things that make it complicated. Is that true? Would you agree with that? What do we insert personally that complicates this? Put it in the chat. I want to see some of your thoughts. I'd like this to be a group discussion. Your own doubt, Nancy, right? And it's sometimes that voice is so loud, right? What else? What are the other things that we use to complicate this? Your fear of failure, or even fear of success. Do you know, I actually believe that more people have a fear of success than a fear of failure. Because when you really study it and dig in and like dig into people's thoughts with them, a lot of people are actually afraid of success. Yeah, right? Success means you have to show up. And sometimes we don't trust ourselves to do that. Okay. I want to teach you about 10 in play and then what to say. Okay. Because right now, starting today, if I could give you like, this is the fastest way you can grow a team starting today, based on my 9 years of experience and working with a lot of different people. I'm telling you right now that this is what I believe will create the fastest growth for you. And here's the exciting part. It's seriously beginner level. It's plug and play. Okay. And here's why. I don't know if you saw my post in the Wellness Warriors yesterday, those of you that are on my team page, but we have just been handed an amazing new tool from, I just finished up a coaching course with her, Melissa Eichenhorst. She is one of the most brilliant business minds, in my opinion, in all of this company. She is extremely successful as a diamond ambassador leader in developing jewels. And she has found a way to simplify, like to pull people in and get their attention, get them to listen for 15 minutes to how they can earn $300 in less than a week. And then how to take those people from there to making a commitment to join a 6-day messenger chat that walks them through step by step of how to create that. And this is done on repeat every single week. And we're jumping in on that now. So this Sunday is going to be the first Sunday night Zoom for earn $300 in less than a week. Here's what blows my mind, and what I think so many of us hesitate, because we're like, oh, but I'm really a lot more comfortable sharing the products than the opportunity. Be honest with me and raise your hand or put a 3 in the chat if that's you. I'm honestly a lot more comfortable sharing about the products than the opportunity. Is that you? That's how most people are. Veronica agrees, right? What do you guys think? Like, is that how you feel? Okay, so here's what you need to hear. That Zoom meeting has a max of 300 participants, and this has been going now for probably a month. They are reaching almost full capacity on these Zooms, because here's what you need to understand. Most people right now would love to earn an extra $300 by next week. There is a need for this now more than there ever has been. And if you can make it so simple with an invitation like, hey, Nancy, me and a few friends are doing a 15-minute call Sunday evening to show how you could earn $300 in less than a week. It's going to be super fast and fun, and we're giving away some gift cards you could win too. Would you be open to hopping on to check it out? A lot of people are saying yes. Okay, not everyone is, but a lot of people. It's, what are you asking for? 15 minutes. What do you have to offer? a chance to listen of how you can help them earn $300 in less than a week. And they could win some gift cards just for listening for 15 minutes, right? That's an easy yes. And that's what we're looking for, is just a simple commitment out of people to get them to take one baby step, right? And then from that one baby step, they hop on that Zoom and they see a ton of other people on there. And what does that create in their mind? It creates like urgency and excitement. Like, oh my gosh, so many people are hopping in on this. Like, this is exciting. So then we're asking them to make another little baby step. Put a 3 in the chat if you are open to us helping you do so after they hear these amazing stories. And then you explain to them, we've broken it down into simple step-by-step activities. We're going to link arms with you and be here with you every step of the way. Put a 3 in the chat if you would like to hop in on that messenger chat, and then we'll add you to a group. I love that you guys are adding 3 too, but you see, like, that's enticing to people. So then they take another little baby step. And then once they're in that chat, then they're going to be in there like, this is exciting. Like, a ton of people are doing this right now, and I could totally use an extra $300. So what do I have to lose? So I want you to just buy into this concept that this is working really well for people. And if you're willing to put it out there, it could do the same for you too. Okay? Ask, ask, ask. Invite, invite, invite. At this point, if Punta Cana is a goal and you're less than, I would even say at this point, 800 credits, you're going to want to like schedule in some time to make a priority out of sending this out to like 20 people a day even, and then post about it every single day in your stories. Post about it like every other day on your feed. Invite, 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 because not everyone's going to say yes, but some people will. And if you can find just a handful of people in this next week that choose in on that, I'll tell you what, the fastest way to earn Punta Cana, the fastest way to grow your points and your paycheck, the fastest way, no matter what your personal goal is with sharing Plexus, the fastest way to do that is not by you going and enrolling 25 people in the rest of November. The fastest way is for you to plug people in to this system where they want to earn extra income. So then you're plugging them in, they're doing the activities, and they're bringing people on. Like I said, plug and play. Of course, you don't just drop them in there and then ditch them. You drop them in there, you check in every day with them. What was your assignment for today? Like, do you have any questions? What questions do you have for me today? I'm so excited for you. I'm cheering you on. Like, and then you're supporting them, right, outside of that group. But it's really, from what I've seen over the last 9 years, the concept of this, if you really choose into it, if you really choose to believe that it will work for you, and you're willing to invite enough people, and then enough of those people join that messenger chat and see the vision and do the activities, then that is a really, really exponential way to like grow your team really fast. Does that make sense? Does that concept make sense, you guys? Okay. All right. So if I wish I could, you guys, I wish I could give you a personal guarantee that if you did this and you sent out 10 new messages every single day from now through December 31st, and you followed up like a boss within 48 hours on every one of them that didn't respond, I would love to guarantee for you that that's going to get you on the beach in February with your favorite person in the world that you choose to go have that amazing getaway with. I wish I could guarantee that, but I can't. But what I can promise you is that if you do choose in and you do choose to do this, then you're going to be sitting in a much better place financially and in, other ways to be able to help a lot more people. Whatever motivates you the most, you're going to have a lot more of that by December 31st if you do choose in. And here's the secret I want to tell you. Maybe you haven't been working this contest up until now for Punta Cana. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you've been pretty lackadaisical or not even paid attention or tried at all. Maybe from the very beginning, you're like, oh, that would be nice, but not for me. Not possible for me, but I'm happy for the other people. And I love to watch the pictures and the videos and the posts. If that's you and you're at a place right now where like this one's really out of reach, like let's just be honest, then what I want you to know is there's another contest right after this one. And do you know the people that have earned Punta Cana that first and second month? Do you know why? It's because they had so much momentum coming out of the previous contest that it skyrocketed them. They had so many retention points coming in because they were working that last contest so well that it like made them explode into this one. So even if Punta Cana is honestly out of your reach at this point, if you decide to work it anyway and just go for Christmas cash or pick your motivation and put up pictures of it everywhere and you choose into it and honestly do the work every day, then going into the next contest, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? You're going to be like a train. Oh, let's think about this. Did you know that a parked train, you can set wood blocks in front of it and that will literally like keep a train from taking off. But a train in motion, you could put a brick wall in front of it and it doesn't even phase it. That's what momentum does, okay? And that's what you can choose to create right now. So Punta Cana or not, the next contest that starts literally the next day on January 1st, you are sitting pretty and you've already got momentum going and you can sweep that contest because you've already like planted the seeds and you've been cultivating and you've been watering and weeding and, doing all the good things that make it so you've got that next contest in the bag. Okay. So what we have here, I already covered that. Sorry, just have to follow my notes a little bit. So no matter how motivated we feel right now, like especially jumping off that cruise ship, those of you that were on the cruise, you know what I'm talking about. Like you left and you're like, game on, let's go. I'm ready to like make magic happen. No matter how motivated you feel in any particular day, if we don't have clarity over where we want to go or clear directions on how to get there, then we will never get there. We're just like floating in the ocean randomly, like wherever the waves take us. All right. So that's why you cannot wait until you feel motivated, because that never works. Motivation is very fleeting. You have to take action that action creates the motivation, and you have to have a clear map and defined goals. Like, so you have to know, what am I working towards? And can I just suggest that you just focus on the next step, right? The step in front of you. Even if your goal is only a 10% increase in your points, let's say you're sitting at 75 points today, even if your goal each month is just to add a 10% increase on your points every month, do you know where you're going to be in a year? Do you know how doable like a 10% increase is? No matter what size your team is, that's a super, super like casual, comfortable goal. But when you stick with it over time and you keep aiming at that, and each month you reach it, then over time, not only are you going to end up with a much larger amount of points, but when you build like slowly and solid like that, and you're really have a good system in place for like following up and keeping people engaged, then that's like a really beautiful natural growth with a little less attrition. So anyways, let me try to stay on track here. So mapping. Oh, and I never even talked about the 10 in play. I'm so sorry. I talked about what to say, but I didn't say the 10 in play. Now, this is another thing that you can use. And if you're in my accountability group, then you're already familiar with this. But I was just taught this concept and it made so much sense to me, because sometimes I'll get in these phases where I get really like motivated to add a lot of people. And so I'll start sending out, I'll make a goal to send out like 10 new reach outs a month or whatever. And not to say that that's a bad idea and that you shouldn't do that. But what would happen is I would have, like, when people responded, I get into conversation with them. Sometimes there's a lot of back and forth before they order. Sometimes it can drag on for months. And so I'd have all these open conversations going. And then I was still like, oh my gosh, I don't even have time to reach out to 10 new people today, but I got to reach my goal. So whatever. And then you end up so overwhelmed that you start dropping balls and like leaving those conversations hanging that are honestly your first priority. And so, or else you're not following up on the messages you've sent because you're so overwhelmed and you have so many messages going, you can't even keep track of them. So 10 in play. So you want to constantly have a list of 10 in play. 10 in play is 10 active conversations. As soon as someone says, no, thank you, or as soon as like they stop responding and you've done a couple follow-ups and they're still ghosting you, then it's time to X them off of your 10 in play and fill your funnel again. So you'd send out a new message. Always have 10 active conversations going. Does that make sense? And that is so much more manageable. And the concept of it's brilliant because you're focusing all of your attention on where it matters most. So if you like that 10 in play idea, then that's what I was really hoping, like, you know, get that 10 in play going and keep it rolling. 10 in play. And now you know what to say. Those, and okay, I'll give you another option too, because like maybe some of you are like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Like totally, it's your business. You can choose to do it however you want. The earn $300 in a week Zooms are really working for people, and they're getting a lot of people interested and wanting to hop on. And I personally don't think we should prejudge for anyone and decide for them. I think we should offer that to everyone. And what you'll find is, because I know this is a fear that our minds tell us, well, if I invite them to that and they say no, they're not interested, then I missed out on the opportunity of maybe they would have joined for the products. That thought ever occur to you? Like, I don't want to reach out about the opportunity because then if they say no, I missed out on that opportunity for them to join for the products. Well, here's the good news. that doesn't mean no. When they say no to the opportunity, then that is the perfect segue of how you can introduce them to the products. It can just make it so genuine and not weird and awkward. Just be like, okay, absolutely no problem. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all. But here's the thing. I know for a fact that everyone needs these products. And I'm sure that's something that could probably bless you too. What are your specific health goals right now? Are you struggling with any of the following symptoms? And then if you drop that graphic, I love using that graphic, because here's what happens in people's heads is even when they thought they're not interested, usually that graphic, they're going to take a peek because they're intrigued and they're like, is my gut unhealthy? Oh my gosh, I do have some of those symptoms. So it could open them up when they didn't think they were open before. Does that make sense? How you can so naturally and comfortably segue into that if they say no to the earn $300 in a week Zoom. Do you guys feel comfortable with that? Yes? Okay, good. Because it's not weird unless you make it weird. It really isn't. It's not weird unless you make it weird. We are the ones that make it weird because we're like so afraid of our feelings. Janelle just sent a message for the Sunday Zoom and got a yes. Hello. That's fantastic. Nancy, did you say you got 3 people RSVP'd for that already? Just from the post? No, who was that? Someone I was talking to. I just put it up and they were like, okay, I already got 3 people RSVP'd. That's fantastic. Okay, so do you currently have 10 in play? Hopefully you guys track and you have an active list. If you don't have 10 in play, that's top priority, okay? Invite, invite, invite. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow up is where the fortune is, you guys. When I send a message, most of the people that I'm reaching out to, they know that I'm super successful with this and they still ignore me. And they still tell me no. And that's okay, because I know that that's just how it works. But when people ignore you, they don't respond, a lot of times that freezes people up. It's so important that you go back within 48 hours. Don't do it in like two hours after you send the message. That's just weird. But the next day or the following day, to just send them a little message. Hey, I know life gets so busy. I just wanted to make sure you saw my message with a smiley face. I get a lot more people respond to that than the original message. So just because people don't respond, stop deciding what that means. That does not necessarily mean they're not interested and you're bugging them. It just means, think about what that means when you do follow up with a message like that. That shows them, oh, she really genuinely meant that for me. That makes it feel a lot more authentic and meaningful when you take the time to follow up on it, rather than just move on if they don't respond, right? Shows them that you're actually like paying attention and you're meaningful about that message. So anyways, if you don't already currently have 10 in play, get that 10 in play ASAP, invite until you got 10 in play. And then, here's another reason I love this concept of the earn $300 a week is because it really is driven by successful leaders that have already cleared the path for you, rather than the responsibility being on you of how to help them fast start silver or whatever. And not to say that you can't, and we do have tools for that hopefully you utilize, but I just love that this is so plug and play. And of course you are going to need to help them place their order or whatever outside of that group, because we're not going to be doing that in the chat. But if you don't already have good resources for that, I hope that you're using now that Boards is a paid for app, I'm going to make myself a note actually on this. Now that Boards is a paid app, you may not have access to my Sharing Plexus board that literally guides you through word for word what to say to people to get them off the fence and get them to order as quick as possible. Okay, that's my personal system that works, that I have like failed forward and failed forward and failed forward and learned what works really well and what doesn't work so well. And that's what works consistently really fast for me. So I want you to have that. So I'm going to drop in the comments with this recording. I will share my, I'll have to put like message at a time, but I can share my Sharing Plexus, which gets them from that first conversation to ordering. And you're going to have to like insert yourself wherever it fits, because if they did the earn $300 in less than a week Zoom, then you're going to skip those first couple messages where you're like, you know, doing that first reach out or whatever, because you're already past that point. But just find where you're at with them and then use the following messages to get them to order. And then I also have a 90-day follow-up system, like 90 days, and it's not every single day. No, not even close, but 90 days of follow-up messages. If you don't already have a system, you may have an upline that is doing follow-up for you. So you should know that. If you don't, then ask them. If you're in charge of doing your own follow-up, I could give you a couple options, because retention is a huge part of not only this Punta Cana contest, but like there's nothing worse than building a team and then next month you lose half of them. That's more disheartening than not building your team in the first place, when you feel like you're constantly battling that attrition. And it is something that you don't have complete control over, because human nature is human beings will often quit on themselves no matter what you do, but you can do things that will make them feel supported and excited consistently, that will increase the chance that they will stick with it. And so having a good follow-up system is important for that. Okay. Anyways, so get that 10 in play, utilize the earn $300 in a week. I will share my Sharing Plexus, and I will share my follow-up systems. I have a 90-day one that's like pretty detailed. And then I have one that's only like once a week. I don't use that one, but I think there's some other girls on our team that use it with success. So I'm going to find that option for you and then kind of give you both with this recording. Okay. Now, why am I okay? We're almost at an hour already. Holy cow. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess, or when you're on a soapbox and passionate about what you're sharing. Okay. I can share the board too. I will share. I mean, Nancy, you may already have those. I don't know, but I'll put them in the comments as well. Now, so what I wanted to do, and we've got 10 minutes left, so I can just do a super quick mapping demo. Okay. Mapping is having a direction and having clarity over how to get there. And it's brilliant. And Brooke Hemingway is the one that I learned this from. And it's just, it's a game changer, right? It gives us direction. It gives us clarity. Everything, if you do this every single month at the beginning of the month, what you'll find is you're going to see a lot more potential for growth than when you're not looking for it. And you're going to be focused on your business and have a lot more clarity about where to focus early in the month. So you'll end a lot stronger than like waiting until the end of the month and kind of seeing where you're at and then hurrying and like frantically trying to add as many more points as you can. That's when you get burnt out and you don't enjoy this anymore. That's when people quit, right? So this mapping is another way to like create consistent, clear growth. I was going to say comfortable, but comfortable, I don't like that word, comfortable. Like we have to make ourselves uncomfortable to create good things, because nothing good happens when we're in our comfort zones, right? So anyways, and I also want to just throw this out there before I forget. If you currently if Punta Cana is a goal for you, and you're honestly like, yes, I'm all in and I'm working towards it, and you have at least 400 credits right now, I'll tell you, if you have 400 credits right now, I'm just being honest, you're going to have to bust your butt to make that happen at this point. But we also have seen in the past, I will tell you that we've seen in the past with contests, Plexus wants to get as many people there as they can. They do. They want to fill that resort. And so if they, like we've seen in the past, that they may throw in some extra ways to add credits that we don't know about yet. And so don't count on that. But I will tell you several times, for myself and for people that I work with closely, leaders on our team, they've got to like near the end of one of these contests, and all of a sudden Plexus is like, hey, surprise, we're going to double credits for the last 2 weeks of the contest. And all of a sudden you're like, oh my gosh, if I would have known they were going to do that, then I would have worked a lot harder this past month and I could have swept the contest, or I could have earned the contest. You do not want to be in that position. It's not fun, because then you're like kicking yourself. So just work as if it's possible and you're all in, and no matter what the end result, you're a winner. And then maybe you'll get a surprise. Who knows, right? I have no clue. I don't want to assume that Plexus is going to do that, but they've done it before. And if they do, you don't want to be kicking yourself saying, oh my gosh, if only I had known, I would have worked a lot harder, because then I would have been there, or then I would have swept the whole contest, whatever it is, right? Okay. So mapping, oh my goodness. All right, let me share my screen with you. And then I've got some homework, okay? Really good homework for you. Okay. All right, this is my beautiful artwork of a map template. And it's not pretty, but it's effective, okay? So I'm just gonna walk you through this, and then I'll share it in the comments. If this is new to you, then you can just use this as your guide, and hopefully it's self-explanatory. And if it's not, you can ask me questions in the replay. But I think, and I wonder if maybe I have this recorded somewhere where I actually like used someone as an example and went all the way through with them. So I'll look and see if I have a video. I'm going to just make myself some notes so I remember that I wanted to share these things with you. And then, so what we're going to look at now, this is something anyone can do, whether they are just started today or whether they are a re-entry gold like I am. Okay. So what you want to do is you fill in your name here. Veronica has 55 points in October. You're going to look at last month, or no, I'm sorry. This is your goal one. Okay. Veronica has let's say she had 55 points in October. So her goal is 100 in November. So Veronica has 100 points in November. I don't know what Veronica's points were last month. I'm just using that as an example, by the way. So last month's points were 55. And then we're going to expect some attrition, even if we're really good at follow-up. We just want to prepare ourselves for that so we're not having to make up in the end. So you're going to deduct 10% of 55 points and then write the answer there. So that's going to make it so your goal points are going to be actually 45 plus that extra 10%. Okay. Does that make sense? So that's how you figure out the points needed to meet your goal. Now, if you do have a team over like senior silver, then you probably want to find your point average, maybe even over gold. I think if you're like gold or below, don't even worry about it. Just do like 5.5. That's easy. If most of all of your team is in level 1 and level 2, then just do like 5.5 and that'll be easy. But this, like if you have a large team, you want to figure out your point average. There's actually, Megan showed me a way that you can use reports and it will like totally easy, but that's whatever. Okay. So this is a way anyone can figure it out. Now, you always want to start with your personal goal of how many people do you want to personally sponsor this month? And it should be minimum of 3 every single month. If you're pushing towards something, it should be double that. Okay. You have the most control over people that you bring in and what you do with them. If you are really good about promoting that, hey, want to earn $300 this week and get your products paid for, then you will get people that want to do that. So you can say, you always want to, oh my gosh, I just realized this should say how many will you strive to develop to silver, basically. You want to develop some silvers from these. So if you're good at promoting that, and now that we have these messenger chats, a good portion of the people you sponsor will want to take advantage of that. If you help them understand that this doesn't take much time, it's proven, it's really simple. What do you have to lose? I mean, who doesn't want an extra $300 right now? So you'll want to choose how many of those do you want to develop to silver, and then take a look at your team. I got to fix this before I share it. So how many of those will you strive to develop to silver? And then you're going to draw out the silver lines right here. Then who can you develop? You're going to take a look at your team and anyone that's open to growing and sharing at all, whether they don't have anyone signed up yet or whether they're already like a Ruby. And whatever, like write in their name, what is their goal? Like how many lines does that bring in of people that there is their goal of how many people to add that month? This is probably really confusing the way I'm describing it. So I hope I can find that video where we actually like wrote it all out, because that'll probably make more sense. But then you want to add up the total number of orders between these people that you're developing, like the names on the lines, how many of those total, with how many people you personally are going to sponsor this month, and then how many points you would get from, or orders you'd get from the silvers that you would develop there as well. So that's just your potential number of orders, and then how many points that would bring in based on your point average. And then what you want to do is, a lot of people like to take it next level and make a visual countdown or count up with, like, they'll put that many sticky notes up on the wall with a number on them and a place to write the name, or they'll just pull off the numbers as the orders come in. So that can be really fun. And then don't forget, like, if you do already have a team, focus on low-hanging fruit as well, because that's another way to bring in extra points, which is people that are under 100 PV, people that are just ordering sporadically, White lines means people who have stopped ordering, and then wholesalers with results. There's point potential here big time if you've got a team that you can work with. Okay. So hopefully that somewhat made sense. And since we're out of time, I'm just going to leave it there and hope that I have a mapping video to help with that as well. Now to your homework. Let me stop this share. Now to your homework. Let's talk about that. So your homework is to create a map for yourself and share it with your sponsor, and also invite until you have 10 in play. Then follow up on every single message within 48 hours and until you have at least a 10 in play, and that you're like using follow-up for them as well. And also, I'm going to ask you to watch. Trisha Rhaegar did a Leaders in Action corporate call this week that was phenomenal, where she shared some things that I think would just like take this training and make it next level. Okay. So if you're on my team and you're in Wellness Warriors, if you do these things, you create a map, share it with your sponsor, and you watch Trisha Rhaegar's training, which I'll drop the link for that. It's in the Plexus Ambassador community page. Then I'm going to do a giveaway. I'll do a drawing for something fun. Okay. Also, just in case you're not aware, I don't even care if you're not on my team, actually. If you want to be in our accountability Zoom, I know for me, I have to have accountability because I have to have someone to answer to. Otherwise, I'm too easy on myself. So we have a great accountability group where we celebrate our no's together. We celebrate our yeses as well, but that really, like, being in that group and normalizing no's, like I do a drawing for every 20 no's that we get as a group. And we also have a baseline of like a tracker meeting the minimums each week, where we have to share that every week with everyone, like who we sent messages to and how many posts we did and what training we listened to this week. And then we meet up on a Zoom every Tuesday evening. So that's only 30 minutes, but super helpful. And we even do some right there in real time messenger blitzes, which is so fun to do those together. So if that's something you want in on, please reach out to me. But you've got your homework. I'm going to drop this recording. I'll put all that stuff in the comments that I said I would share. I wrote notes for it, so hopefully I don't forget anything. Just be patient with me because it's going to take some time to get all that loaded up in there. But yeah, that's it. So I'm going to turn off the recording here. And does anyone have any questions?